Hi there, my name is Renko and I'm a sound engineer, sound designer and music composer at QwertyProstudio recording studio. In this video I want to demonstrate to you the sound design that I did for the amazing popular science video from the YouTube channel called Perception. I really like what these guys are doing, so please be sure to check them out because their content is really informative and fun to watch. My sound design in this demo video will be actually much louder than it is in the original video. It's much louder than the voice and music. That is done so you could hear all the small details of sound design. And if you want to check out how the sounds look like in the original mix, be sure to follow the link to the original video on Perception's YouTube channel into the description.
For the last 30 years, our world has changed drastically. You no longer need to visit a store to buy something. Information exchange happens in a few milliseconds, and it seems our lives have become better. But did they? The last 30 years were good in terms of technology, but at the same time, our lives have become too fast, and it seems we're constantly running, not noticing how fast time goes by. Maybe our lives in the year 2050 would be a dream, but it's also possible that it will become a tough time for us. So at some point, we will have to limit our technological advancement. The last 100 years were essential in our history. We built a computer, a smartphone, the internet, and a lot of other devices we use every day. Our lifespan extends to 72.6 years on average. It has led us to the population of 7.8 billion people, and it's estimated that in 2050 we will reach 10 billion people. The world is becoming increasingly urbanized. Cities provide huge opportunities, jobs and services, and over half of the global population live in cities. And by 2050, this number is expected to increase to 2/3. Unfortunately, it also means high population density, high levels of income inequality, mental illnesses, and the existence of gangs and organized crime groups. All these will increase levels of violence. In the year 2050, over 24% of people will be unemployed. More and more jobs will be done by machines. Robotics, artificial intelligence, and new technologies will be everywhere. Huge protests could erupt around the globe. But we need to understand this will be a new industrial revolution in our history. We suffered through 3 technological revolutions before and successfully adapted to the new times. A lot of people are afraid of big changes. It's a known problem called a fear of change. Luckily for us, new jobs will become available. If you want to be an astronomer, there will be a lot of space companies offering a job as crew and pilot for space travel. Some organizations have already begun research studies in bioprinting. It's a field in medicine where organs, tissue, and bones could be 3D printed using natural materials and then used as transplants in human bodies. Recently, a group of researchers from South Korea developed a 3D printed artificial cornea, the transparent front covering of the eye. Another group of scientists have 3D printed a fully vascularized heart using fat tissue cells from a donor. There will be a lot of new jobs in this field, and in a perfect future, every hospital should have the ability to print any organ. With this fantastic technology, our life expectancy could be extended well beyond normal. But what if you wanted to become immortal? A Russian billionaire by the name of Dmitry Itskov is now working on technology to upload the human mind to a computer drive. And within the next 30 years, he claims we can all live forever. The 2050s look promising, and a lot of new cool companies will appear and provide new working places. It's a challenging task to predict all services, but one thing is clear: everything that can be automated will be automated. But what's more exciting about the future is that soon we could implant brain-machine interfaces, or BMIs. These are currently being designed by Neuralink Corporation. The possibilities of this technology are endless. People with Alzheimer's disease could use Neuralink to help restore the bridge to the memory or serve as a new one. People in one room could be chatting without doing anything, just by using their minds through a kind of telepathy. And it's possible that soon we won't do anything on our own. We will just send commands using our brain. However, this technology isn't for everyone, because as cool as it sounds, a lot of people would be scared of being hacked or secretly spied on by the government. It's important to guarantee privacy and security for each of us, and if technology possesses dangers for a person, it should be regulated or prohibited. Another problem we may see in the future is that almost half of the global population could end up being obese. This is because obesity can spread socially by sharing environments and doing activities together. Therefore, if nothing changes, 42% of adults could be obese by the year 2050. Obesity causes diabetes, heart disease, and even some types of cancer. As life becomes more automated and technology replaces the need for physical labor, more and more people will become obese unless they exercise. To fight obesity, researchers have developed a specific gene silencing therapy against a fatty acid metabolism gene. This resulted in a 20% reduction of body weight and improved insulin resistance and inflammation after just 6 weeks of treatment. Currently, there are many breakthroughs in gene editing. Some companies bred hornless cows, while another bred piglets that could be used for organ transplant. This industry evolves fast, and soon we may see gene editing used in designing babies, fixing gene mutations, and curing different illnesses like HIV and cancer. We won't talk much about it because we already have a video about gene editing and you can check it out here. But gene editing won't solve everything. The world in 2050 could be a tough place with a lot of crime, riots, people with mental disorders, unknown viruses, diseases, natural disasters, the constant global weapons race, and hundreds of other factors we simply couldn't control. We're still human, very vulnerable, and even sensitive to weather changes. To make our lives better and help us sustain difficult conditions, some companies develop smart biomaterials. Biomaterials are used for tissue regeneration, but instead of common biomaterials, scientists are trying to come up with polymeric biomaterials which can adapt to different stimuli, such as temperature or pH levels in your blood. Smart biomaterials deliver bioactive molecules and cell adhesion mediators, which could cure diseases faster. All these medical advances will lead us to a life expectancy of 80 years on average. But our resources are limited, and we will represent more danger for our environment. Oceans will be more polluted than ever, and plastic in the oceans will outweigh fish. The annual temperature will increase by 2 degrees centigrade, and some cities could experience drought, as Barcelona did in 2008. It means less water and less harvest. Besides these things, we will face other problems. Cities will be overloaded, more skyscrapers built, air will be polluted, living space will be too small, and there will be eternal traffic jams. Sadly for us, this is already a reality in some cities. Take a look at Hong Kong. The average living space there is 13.3 square meters, or around 143.1 square feet. Huge traffic jams during rush hours is another big problem, and the number of cars are constantly increasing. It was also a big problem for Singapore. Now owning a car in Singapore isn't an easy task. Besides tax measures, the government invented a vehicle quota system, VQS, that awards the right to own a car to people who offer the highest monetary bids. To reduce car use, Singapore also imposes some measures like congestion charging, while at the same time seeks to improve alternative mobility options. Now, owning a car in Singapore is quite expensive. In the future, more countries will take important steps into making cities more comfortable. One of the plans to make our lives better is to build vertical farming land, which will save a lot of space in large cities and provide any fresh products we want. In New York, you can already find underground vertical farms. They create an artificial environment which allows them to grow any plant. If some herb grows only in Asian conditions, it can now be grown inside this farm. Meat, as we know it, will be probably replaced by synthetic meat due to its negative effect on the planet. In 2013, the first lab-grown burger was served up. It took 2 years to grow and it was very expensive. Currently, the race continues to create affordable cultured meat products, and in the near future, we may see synthetic meat in our grocery stores. Although we don't know how good it will be, we need to understand it's an important step in enhancing our ecology. We've already begun developing devices that clean the environment from toxic and dangerous substances. Dutch scientists have designed a huge floating device to try and clean up an island of garbage 3 times the size of France in the Pacific Ocean. Scientists have also found ways to utilize e-waste from electronics devices that are thrown away and contain many harmful elements. A material that is absorbent has been developed and is excellent at cleaning up heavy metal pollutants in wastewater. Cities will have autonomous robots delivering everything, and a lot of vehicles will be controlled by autopilot. Flying between cities could be done on solar-powered planes. Instead of building nuclear power plants, we will construct new eco-friendly fusion reactors. And by 2050, a lot of companies will launch their satellites in space, providing reliable internet connection across the globe. Humanity will colonize the moon, and while there is one company telling us they will send 1 million people to Mars by 2050, we would like to witness the first human flight on the Red Planet first. All of this sounds great and terrifying at the same time. And let's enjoy our life now and make it better for the future. Thanks for watching. We appreciate your support. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to our channel. We will make sure to deliver videos each month for you. And if you have some ideas on any video topics, you can write us in the comments.